Hi there, I'm Vincent Boss and I provide dating and self-improvement advice. And in today's podcast, we're going to be discussing why is my ex silent after breakup, after reaching out, and after meeting. I provide audio coaching to help people try and get their ex back or get a new girlfriend or boyfriend. Check out my website for more details, www.dateme.tips. Please check your spam and junk folders if you are expecting an email from me. So now let's get back into today's podcast, and today we are discussing why is my ex silent after breakup, after reaching out, and after meeting. If you have gone through a breakup, it can be incredibly confusing as for why your ex is silent. This, of course, can be from different perspectives, whether you are the dumper or whether you are the dumpee, and whether you are at the breakup stage, whether your ex has already reached out to you and has now gone quiet since, or whether you have even met again and now your ex has gone silent. So in today's podcast, I thought I would tackle each of these elements, each of these potential possibilities, and go through why your ex is silent. Now, of course, there is no 100% guaranteed way of knowing for certain as for why anybody does anything, but this is the likely reasons as for why an ex is silent in each of these situations. So let's get straight into this. And number one is after breakup. So after the breakup, there is a very strong possibility that your ex might have gone silent, and you might be wondering why. So first of all, we will look at this from the perspective of the dumper. So if you are the dumper and if you have ended the relationship, then you might be subconsciously thinking to yourself, why has my ex gone silent? And then this might start to drip feed into your current mindset, into your present self. And you really start to wonder, why is my ex silent? Okay, I ended the relationship, but I did not expect them to be silent. I didn't expect them to leave me alone. I really expected them to beg, to plead, and to reason with me. This is very surprising. I don't quite understand. So the main reason why somebody who has been dumped would have gone silent is because they have likely started to follow my version of the no contact rule. There are many different versions of a no contact rule that you can find online, but in essence, the no contact rule is something that lots of people suggest you implement if you have been dumped and want to try to get your ex back. As I said, there's different variants that you can find online, and I believe that my version of a no contact rule will give you the best possible chance of getting your ex back. So if you've been dumped and you really want to give yourself an edge on trying to get your ex back, please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and ring the bell for notifications. You can check out my playlist on my YouTube channel called The No Contact Rule, and this will explain my thoughts in depth, and you will be able to really immerse yourself in my variant of a rule and really understand why I believe it will give you the best possible chance of success. But as I've just referenced, if you are a dumper, you might be wondering why your ex has decided to leave you alone. Why has your ex decided to not beg, plead, or reason? So if you are a dumpee, you can see from what I'm saying that a dumper won't want you to beg, plead, or reason, but certainly they will be wondering why you aren't, because they will be expecting this first subconsciously, and then into their present mindset, they will consciously be wondering why you aren't reaffirming their value, why you aren't pushing them on that pedestal. This will create wonder and this will create intrigue. This is why if you're a dumpee, you need to implement my version of a no contact rule. But what if you're a dumpee and you're asking this question? What if you're a dumpee and you're asking yourself, why has my ex gone silent after the breakup? Why has my dumper gone silent? So when a relationship ends, the dumper is in essence saying to their dumpee, I believe that my life will be more fulfilling to me outside of this relationship. And hence, when somebody ends a relationship, they will be moving forward on their own journey, and they are likely to want to be concentrating on their own path ahead as a singleton. Now, of course, this doesn't mean this is how they will always feel, but at this present time, they will be moving into the single honeymoon period where they are a singleton. They are living the life that they envision will be more fulfilling. Now, of course, this isn't necessarily going to be the case, but at this point in time, this is why a dumper will likely go quiet on their ex. A dumpee might be thinking, well, we was together one moment, then they've suddenly dumped me, and we've gone from speaking constantly every day to just absolute silence. Why is this? Well, this is because when a dumper ends a relationship, they are now fully focusing on their new path. They're fully focusing on their journey, and they're living in the moment. And when they're living in the moment, they are experiencing single life, and they don't want to connect with you right now. You've got to understand they have ended the relationship, and therefore, from their perspective, the relationship is over and they are moving forward in a different direction, and they just don't want to talk with you right now. They don't want to put yourself in a position where you feel that maybe there could be reconciliation, because at this stage, that is certainly not on your ex's mind. So that is why, from both the dumper and dumpee's perspective, after a breakup, that your ex has gone silent. So now let's move into point number 2, and point number 2 is after reaching out. So why does an ex go silent after reaching out? There can be nothing more confusing than when, as a dumpee, you finally receive contact from your ex. Everything's exciting. Everything feels that it is falling into place. And then after your interaction, your dumper once again goes silent. This can be so confusing, and this can be distressing. The reason as for why a dumper will go silent after previously reaching out is because, unfortunately, the communication stage wasn't navigated effectively by the dumpee. So if you receive contact from your ex, that doesn't mean you've got your ex back. All this means is that you have moved to the communication stage. Now, of course, this is a big celebratory day. This is very important. It is putting you in the right direction of one day reconciling with your ex, but this doesn't mean you've got the job done. You have to navigate the communication stage effectively, and you have to understand what perspective your ex, the dumper, is coming from. If your ex, the dumper, is missing you, they might only miss you from a platonic sense. This and more will be discovered through the communication stage. And if you navigate it effectively, this is when you can arrange to meet and take things to the next stage further on. So if you are a dumpee and you receive contact from your ex, this is fantastic, but you've not got the job done. This is not everything completed, finished, you're not back together. If your ex contacts you, you have communication, and then you never hear from your ex again, or they go silent for a sustained period, this is because that after the communication, your ex, the dumper, doesn't feel that they want to move things forward. And this is either because they wanted to speak with you in a platonic sense and they feel that this is all it can go, this is all that can happen right now, or alternatively, after speaking with you, they don't feel that meeting would be appropriate. Maybe it has been reaffirmed in their mind that you two aren't going to connect. So possibly you did everything right in the first instance, implementing my version of the no contact rule, and then eventually your ex, the dumper, reaches out to you, but then you've gone through the communication stage, and unfortunately, the way you've spoke to your ex, the dumper, has not made them feel that they want to reconnect. It's not made them feel that they want to take things further. Possibly it has made them think, oh gosh, why on earth did I message my ex, the dumpee? Why did I message them? I can't believe I did this, because now I've spoke to them, I can remember as for why I ended that relationship. Because if you use the no contact rule, if you implement my version of the rule, effectively you will give yourself every chance of one day hearing from your ex again. But just because you hear from them again, you still have to do everything right in the communication stage, because if you don't, then your ex won't want to meet you. And you can't have a relationship on the phone. If you don't meet your ex, then you aren't back together. Additionally, as I said, there is always the chance that your ex is only feeling platonic feelings and just wanted to reconnect in a very platonic way via a message or via some type of communication. You will discover this during the communication stage, and that is another reason as for why after that initial conversation, your ex might go silent. So now let's get into point number 3 and the final point of today's podcast about answering the question, why is my ex silent? And point number 3 is, why is my ex silent after meeting? So if you implement my version of a no contact rule, then if you do everything right, you increase the possibility of one day hearing from your ex again. If and when you hear from your ex, you will then have to navigate the communication stage. If you do that effectively, you will be able to reconcile to the point of where your ex, the dumper, agrees to meet you. So at this stage, the dumpee and the dumper have agreed to meet, and this is where you will find out for certain whether you can get on the right path to reconnecting and growing a new relationship between you. Unfortunately, this doesn't always go well, and sometimes during the meeting stage, this can reaffirm to the dumper as for why they ended their relationship previously. This might also show the dumper that although they now feel that their dumpee can be somebody that they connect with on a platonic level, they just do not feel romantic feelings for. Ultimately, unless you meet somebody face to face, you won't know for certain if romantic feelings are there. So even if a communication stage goes really, really well, you still have to meet, you still have to see how you both feel when you meet. This is not just from a dumper's perspective, but from a dumpee's as well. If a meeting has taken place and the dumper is feeling really, really positive about it, the dumpee might think, you know what, I don't want to get back together. I'm not feeling this vibe. Or maybe the dumpee is just feeling a platonic vibe. Platonic vibes could be felt by either party. If this is the case, there is an increased chance that after the meet, your ex will go silent again. Will you hear from them one day? Possibly so, but it might be in a platonic sense. However, if you meet up and it goes badly, I have to be honest with you, I have to tell you the truth and give you the facts. There is every chance that you won't hear from your ex again. Because if you've got to the stage of meeting up again and it just didn't feel right, the vibe wasn't there, then one or both people might feel that it is not worth trying to reconcile ever again. You have to understand that there is a limit to the amount of times as to when people will see if they connect romantically. So if you meet up and then your ex goes silent, this is meaning that they are not feeling that vibe right now. It doesn't mean that you'll never hear from them again, but you have to understand that this is a possibility. So I always suggest that at any stage, and especially if you meet and you don't hear from your ex again, you must move forward with positivity. You must go on your own journey. And you must realize that if your ex won't respond to you, if your ex doesn't reach out to you, if your ex has gone silent on you, then there is a reason. It's either because they can't contact you or that they don't want to contact you. Either way, this doesn't mean you can have a romantic relationship right now. If you believe that this podcast has helped you, then please consider buying me a coffee. The link to do so is in the description.
Yeah, if you miss your ex, we can help with that. Help you get him back, or we can help find you someone else. Yeah, Vincent Bo, the relationship coach, giving you some insight, bringing you a new approach. DateMe.tips, go and check the site, giving you advice, helping with your love life. Get your ex back, or move to the next. Ain't no sweat, you know Vincent Bo got you. Finding love ain't no problem. Yeah, DateMe.tips, check it out now.